What's up, guys? It's your boy Bentley here, and today we're doing the long recap of my SMP. I did the short recap. If you want
Yep,
to go see
we did.
that, I'll comment that in the comments. And, let's get started. It all started when I first got my PlayStation. I was super happy. I had just gotten Minecraft on it. Nothing could take me down. I was super happy. I thought, you know what? Let's make a world where me and all of my friends would just hang out. Like, that's all we do. And little and what I didn't know was what I was about to start was the most adventurous or yeah, and awesome year-long thing I've ever done. So, let's move on from week 1. Week 1, I was all alone. I was here building this base and building all of its secrets that I will go over in another video of all the secrets in my world. But then, in week 2, guess who decided to join the server? Eli. Now, due to me not having like the stuff for the old map, just imagine a house light on this. Eli was still relatively new to Minecraft and he was playing on mobile at the time, so it didn't look the greatest. No offense, Eli. And,
No
you
offense
know,
taken.
when he built this, it was awesome. I was like, oh yeah, I got a friend playing. It was really fun. And then I it honestly went smoothly for the rest of week 2 as well. Week 3 though is where it started to kick up. Next was Elijah. Elijah was the next person to join, and he built a pretty nice base. Now, again, this is not the actual, correct form he built this in. It did not look like this, but due to this being after the events of everything, I tried to restore it the best I could, but with there being no real photo or video evidence, I really had to go off my noggin, and that's not very reliable. So that was the best we could do. Week 3 was where it all started to kick up. The world was really starting to feel like it had life. Like I had Eli on every other day. We were building things, discovering Minecraft, basically. I had learned how redstone worked, I thought. And I was fresh off of building another world. I hopped in and said, I want to build a secret passage. I tried, and it didn't work. So now there was just a hole in my wall. It was fine. We never messed with it. Week 4 happened. This. Now, this is much better than week 4. Than week 3. All of week 4 came to this. Started off with me getting a massive ding in my head. I wanted a way for all of us to meet in the same spot, and you could access it from all of our houses. And thus, the tunnels were built. These things, they're long. They're long now, but beforehand, all they did was reach from my base to Eli's. And here was where we would meet up. I thought. We would meet up in this room, we would talk. No one could see us because we would be crouching. We would be just talking about fun things and all of that. And then if we ever wanted to, we could always see each other's face. Like it was fun. Week 5, one of my best friends, Malachi, joined. We had a fun. He built this absolutely gigantic base, and we had our first water companions, his axolotls. There were 5 of them. Unfortunately, they are no longer with us, but they were awesome. That's all I gotta say. Week 4 really picked us up. We had a brand new way of transportation, and we built this. We got a new person on. Now, right at the end of the week, we went to take on the Ender Dragon. Me, Eli, and Malachi hopped through the portal, and we fought the Ender Dragon. Defeating it, I wanted to leave my mark, and so I built this base. And it has nothing in it, but I wanted you guys to see it. It was really cool. Week 5 was awesome. It was really the start of this SMP. It's where it started to pick up. Little did I know, this would be one of the last, and I mean last weeks, without conflict. It was going perfect. We were doing everything. We were having such a good time. And then he joined. His name was Bentley Davis. He brought the SMP a lot of good things. Little did we know he also would bring its unfortunate demise. Week 6 through 8 was pretty much the same as the first 3 weeks. Nothing much happened. Then week 10 hit, and this was built. Or sorry, not this. Sorry. I skipped through it. This was built. This was a base for my phone. This would be where I finally extended the tunnels. And they extended far. This being the last time the tunnels would be extended, because the other bases were way too far and were frankly just not important enough to be connected by the tunnels. Or so I thought. After this being built, I wanted a statue built for me. This was fresh out of my Preston Plays era. Yeah. So, hang on, let me get out of here real quick. As you can clearly see, these got long. This isn't even half of it. And so, I built a little statue for me. Trust me, he's a lot uglier up close than I am in real life. Um, he wasn't exactly good, but inside was just a little area you could hang out in. Wasn't too important. And that was about it for week 10, I believe. Yeah, I think we're on week 10. Week 11! Finally, we are moving on to the first conflict of the server. World War I. This was before Bentley D reached the era now known as the Terror Era. I just came up with that right now. So you can see World War I brought great destruction to the world. Left many of us grieving our bases. It scarred Billy D the most, with his house standing right here. It was blown up. It was all fun. We were laughing. We were having a fun time. And then someone flipped his switch and exploded. It's still a mystery to this day who did it. Some believe Bentley D did it. Some believe Eli did it. I believe it was Malachi. Malachi did not like Bentley D at all, to be honest. When these two played, they always argued. They didn't really like each other very much. He was the perfect criminal for it. Billy D thought it was Eli, unfortunately. And this would start him and Eli's rivalry and the eventual demise of the SMP. Week 12. Still mad, and some still grieving. The world was reaching a complete technological advancement, with us getting crazy lights like these, our own monster thingy. I forgot what it was called. My mind went blank. That didn't work. And spelling! That was the biggest one. Spelling and the public pool. This thing I made just to have fun at. There was no war. I was trying to cheer everyone up after World War One. And in this same week, though no longer here, Eli built the guest base. A base where guests could just come and stay there until they finally got themselves a base built. It was a smart idea. It only lasted about 3 weeks before it was exploded. These next 2 weeks were spent with no one online. We were all moving on to other games, and for a little bit, it looked like the SMP was done. Until me and Eli got back on week 13. We're at week 15. 15 weeks in. It's exploded. Bentley D also gets on with us. He explodes the guest base. But Bentley D didn't think that was enough. And the next week, Eli would build a new base. But it would be all for him. It would be right here. But this time it wasn't Bentley D who would do the treachery, the exploding, or anything. I did. Full of power and just because I didn't care, I exploded his house. But instead of manning up, saying, hey, I exploded it, I said Billy D did. I thought we would all just laugh it off. Never to be thought of again. Billy D had other plans. Now, here's where discipline had to happen. I'm talking pure discipline. This is the start of an era known as the Terror Era. I was fed up with all the explosions and everything and decided to punish Eli for the supposed crime and Bentley Davis. Hang on, I'm trying to find it real quick. There it is. I decided I would build an underground bunker. One would be a guard. One would be a prisoner. And they would swap. Eli for a day. Bentley for a day. But Bentley started off. Bentley brought intrigue to me. He said he wanted a prison break. I said, of course. It's the perfect story. I actually thought it was an amazing idea. I could finally test out how much both of them were willing to go. So, I made a book. It's this book right here. And in it was written the story of how it happened. Day one, Eli was the guard. Bentley won over Eli's... How do I put this? Trusting heart, and eventually locked him away and eventually trapped him with obsidian he had smuggled in here. Eli trapped, Billy D made a run for it. Now, because I had to interfere after realizing, hey, I probably shouldn't be making a story when I was supposed to be disciplining them, TP'd Bentley D back here, where he would serve about another 4 hours before I got bored and would do Eli's turn. Eli was in for about 30 minutes because the crime was still unprovable, so we did not do a whole bunch. The next day, we were all get back on. I decide we're gonna put them both in Eli's house. Second oldest house in the server. Second oldest. And they would go through punishments of the other person's choice. Eli was put up first. I don't know why. When I look back at it now, it was stupid. He was innocent. Hadn't done anything. But what Billy D did in there was insane. Crazy. The fact that he had gone to such length to torture one person was insane. But I was too blind to see it. And let it carry on. Eli was probably in there for an hour. In real life time, about a day in Minecraft time. And it was Billy D's turn. He was in there for less than 10 minutes. Still went under Eli's torture.
I just want to say, he was in there for like 2 seconds. He was in there for like maybe 2 seconds, didn't even get to torture him before he just like got off. So.
And before he left, because I had set up a mechanism at the top of the house, in case either one of them tried to escape, it would explode with killing them in it. He blew up Eli's house. It was beyond repair. The version you see today is not what it looked like at all. It was not wood, as a matter of fact, it was yellow. So, keep that in mind. Picture this whole box yellow and a house above it. Eli, then, Billy D, wouldn't hop back on the next week. It looked like he was done torturing. Eli was not. Eli, hurting that he had lost his house, decided he would build a massive tree. Massive. Me, not seeing the point in it, decided to burn down the tree using lava. A very stupid decision that I regret even today. But before that lava even touched the ground, I put water down. It would form this beautiful structure that we know as a symbol today. As a symbol of what power this place had. Then, the next week was potentially a prepping for another war. We could all feel it coming in the air, and we all knew to prepare. Me knowing that I had an alliance with Bentley D, wasn't worried too much. Was more worried on what he would do. And so, Bentley D built a secret base to hold all of his things that he would eventually drop down on Eli. This is Base Alpha. Just came up with that right now. It had elytras, lava buckets, and fireworks. If you don't know what that is, that's a combination for air power. That is a combination for an air assault. He had horses, and he had fast horses. If you don't know anything about Minecraft horses, white horses are the fastest of the bunch. And Eli had one. Or not Eli, sorry. Bentley had one. There was one thing he didn't have, was time. And resources. Though all this wasn't creative, Bentley D was surprisingly low on some of the resources he needed. When looked at his vaults that was supposed to hold the city's goods, it was surprisingly short and small compared to Eli's immense wealth of having an entire upper floor filled with it, with gold. But it wasn't enough to compete with Bentley's just better understanding of Minecraft. He designed fireball throwing cannons. He made TNT flingers. That's what I call them. They're basically planes that fly over and fling TNT. He built one of those. But before the war, he asked me to do something strange. I didn't know if I should have been worried. He asked me if we could build a laboratory together. I said, to test what? To experiment with what? He said TNT. Little did I know it was a trap. He was going to try and kill me. He exploded the base nearly about 3 days after its construction, with me in it. I knew he was trying to kill me. He was trying to get me out of the way. So that way he could take on Eli. Too naive to believe it, I thought he was just trying to get rid of the zombies in the base. But it didn't make sense. At all. Here we go. The final 2 weeks of the server. This is where it gets interesting. So, a few weeks back I said about the tree. When the tree was built, TNT rained down and exploded Bentley D's wheat farm. Bentley D was furious and had still not gotten over this. And instead, he decided he wouldn't just go after Eli. He would go after the entire SMP. Starting off with Eli's castle. This isn't, again, not its actual form. This is just a recreation based off memory since there was no photo or video documentation I could take it off of. So it did not look like this, but if you don't know its name, it is Castle Elijah. Its entire top was exploded, but it wouldn't be the last one he exploded. He then moved to Malachi's base. He filled the entire first floor with pandas and exploded the top floor. Sadly, the explosion killed his axolotls. Bentley D has never... No, not Bentley D. Malachi has never joined the server since. Moment of silence for the axolotls. Thank you. I'm just kidding, guys. The axolotls did die, but it was just a joke. Here, this is a quick thing before I get into the big thing, because this is where it goes down. This is where all of the marbles fall. Up here was the sky base. I watched in terror as my SMP, the world I had been working at for nearly an entire year, over 30, I think we're at almost 30 weeks now, was about to be destroyed before my very eyes. Bentley D launched an attack on Eli's last base he had, his sky base. Quick note, the sky base was not able to be salvaged. It was filled with llamas, and I had to clear out the llamas. I had to sadly explode the base, and it was beyond recovery. So, it is no longer here. So yeah. That was the final straw. Eli officially stopped playing. The first person to ever start playing on the server besides me, had finally left. All because of one man. One man. And after this war, everything was left. Bentley D roamed and ruled this server. Though we would go on to do a couple more builds, none of them quite brought back the magic that the SMP once had. It seemed like that was the end of my SMP. Until one day, my brother joined. And then it hit me. Though it may be the end of the server for us, it was a start for my brother and his friends. This house resembles the next generation in my server. Though it wasn't originally made for my friends, it'll now be home to Malachi, to everyone's friends. just like the first video, I did leave out some things. Number one, some of the story I said did not exactly play out the way it said it did. Like, the blowing up of the base did not happen like he was trying to kill me. It was actually because of frogs. There were a crap ton of frogs in there, and he, just exploded it. We weren't using it anymore after that point. And also, the, like, week by week thing I did, most of the weeks were divided by, like, some breaks. So, like, about through week 1 through 15, there was about a month or two worth of time in between those weeks, like, all combined, the breaks between them all. And, another quick note, it wasn't quite very important for the story, because it didn't do much, but this village was another thing that it was exploded, that was Eli's. Just thought I'd say that. And then, I did not bring it up at all, but the skybase was a big deal. Maybe not for story context, but for, like, world background, like, how everything, like, the countries and stuff. That was all. You could have found it all up here. Now, I actually tore down most of the countries here. There were 2 other countries. I only mentioned one in my other video, and that was mine. And this was something that, like, Malachi pretty much did for, like, 2 days and then stopped. For a little bit, he had a country, but other than that, it was really it. This was my banner. And yeah, here is the map of the entire world. So, if you guys, like, want to go into World Painter, do this, you can. It's right here. Yeah. So if you guys did like this, comment down below if you want more videos on this SMP, because I love this SMP. This is my favorite thing I've done with my friends. Besides my YouTube channel. I love doing my YouTube channel with my friends. But please, 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 because there's still so much about this SMP that I could show you, and even more that will happen. So, if you guys want to join the adventure, please like and subscribe, and yeah, please hit that bell so that way you never miss any latest uploads from me. Go check out Eli's channel, Eli519. I think he will have a video up. If not, I will have his channel posted up in my comments. And yeah, that's it for me. Bentley out. Peace.